The Independent Electoral and Boundary Commission has officially begun a nationwide continuous voter registration exercise in preparation for the 2027 general election. The launch took place in Kajiado County and marked the start of the process that is expected to cover every constituency in the country. This exercise will allow millions of Kenyans who were previously unregistered, as well as those who have attained or have reached the age of 18, to be included on the electoral roll. The Commission has set the target of 6.3 million new voters. These figures represent young people who have attained voting age since the last registration. Kenya who never registered before and those seeking to transfer their voting details to polling station, it is their time. With election less than 2 years away, the Commission is keen to expand the voter base to ensure wider participation and representation. The exercise comes after voter registration was suspended in June 2022 ahead of the general election that held that year. At the time, the suspension was necessary to finalize the preparation for the polls. Since then, many Kenyans who turned 18 between 2022 and 2025 have been waiting for the opportunity to register. The relaunch of the process is therefore seen as a major step in ensuring that these new voters are now not left out of the democratic process. The Commission has explained that registration will be available at only two key points across the country. First, will be done at the constituency Iebc office, which are present in all 290 constituencies. Second, it will be available at Huduma centers, which provide government services across the country. This dual approach is designed to make the process more convenient, especially for those people living in towns and rural areas where distances to government office may vary. Eligible voters are required to present either an original national identification card or a valid Kenyan passport. These documents serve as a proof of citizenship and eligibility to vote. The Commission also has emphasized that only original document will be accepted to ensure that registration is carried out in a transparent and credible manner. The REBC had initially announced on August 8, 2025 that it would start continuous voter registration. At that time, the Commission noted that the Constitution required voters registration to be continuous process. However, it admitted that logistical and administrative challenges had prevented the process from going forward earlier in the year. With the launch now underway, the Commission has fulfilled its constitutional obligation and opened the door for millions of Kenyans to register. One of the major changes in this exercise is the technology being used. The Kenya Integrated Election Management System kits, known as KIMS kits, have been upgraded from the version used in previous elections. The new devices can scan and capture details biometric and personal information of voters, including fingerprints and photographs, with greater accuracy. Once captured, the information is transmitted directly to IEBC's central database. According to the Commission, this system makes the process more reliable than manual registration, which was more vulnerable to errors. The upgraded kits also include features to help identify and remove the records of a deceased person from the voter roll. This measure addresses one of the common concerns in Kenya's electoral history: the presence of ghost voters. By ensuring that only living and eligible citizens are included, the Commission hopes to improve the credibility of the final register of voters. Data protection has also been emphasized as a key priority in the new exercise. The Commission has stated that it is fully compliant with the Kenya's data protection laws, which were passed to safeguard the privacy of citizens' information. The data collected from voters will be stored securely with strict control on how it can be accessed and used. This assurance is meant to build trust among Kenyans who may be concerned about the safety of their personal details. The Commission has explained that the voter registration exercise will not be limited to new voters only. It will also cover individuals who wish to transfer their registration to new polling stations. This is particularly important in a country where people often move for work, education, or family reasons. Allowing transfer ensures that voters can cast their ballots in locations that are convenient and accessible to them. In addition to Kajiado, where the launch took place, the exercise will be rolled out across all counties in the country the coming days. Each constituency is expected to serve as a registration center, meaning that Kenyans will not need to wait for mobile registration team to arrive in the areas. By decentralizing the process, the IEBC aims to make it continuous and accessible throughout the electoral cycle. The decision to launch in Kajiado was symbolic. The county represents both rural and semi-urban population, reflecting the diverse nature of Kenya's electorates. By starting there, the Commission sent a message that voter registration is meant for all Kenyans, regardless of where they live. The choice of location also underscores the importance of ensuring that the marginalized and remote communities are not left behind in the registration process. Since its establishment, the REBC has carried the responsibility of conducting free and fair elections in Kenya. Voter registration has always been one of its most important tasks, as the quality of a registered directly affect the gradability of the polls. In past years, concerns about incomplete or inaccurate registers have led to dispute and mistrust among political players. By launching this continuous registration exercise earlier, the Commission hopes to avoid such challenges in 2027. The exercise also comes at a time when Kenya's political environment is beginning to shift in anticipation of the next election. Political parties have already mobilized their supporters and encouraged them to register. The Commission target of 6.3 million new voters is therefore not just a technical goal, but a figure that would influence the balance of power in the upcoming polls. For politicians, the registration exercise is an opportunity to reach out to new supporters and strengthen their bases. The REBC has also emphasized the importance of inclusivity in the process. The Commission wants to ensure that groups that have historically been underrepresented, such as youth, women, and persons with disability, are fully registered. By making registration continuous, the Commission gives this group more time and flexibility to participate instead of limiting them to short registration drives. Over the years, Kenya has experienced high voter turnout in election, but the challenge has often been ensuring that all eligible citizens are registered beforehand. In the 2022 election, turnout was just under 65%, but questions remain about the millions of eligible Kenyans who are not on the register at all. The current exercise is intended to address the gap by providing a long-term opportunity for registration. The IEBC has further clarified that while registration is continuous, there will be specific cut-off dates for compiling the final register before the 2027 election. These dates will be communicated in advance to ensure that voters know their timelines. For now, however, the focus is on making registration open and ongoing so that no one is locked out of the process unnecessarily. With 290 constituency offices and numerous Huduma centers across the country, the infrastructure for registration is already in place. The challenge for the Commission will be to ensure that these centers are adequately staffed and equipped to handle the expected number. Past experience have sometimes been slowed down by long queues, system failures, and shortage of registration materials. The IEBC has promised that these issues have been addressed in the current rollout. The Commission has also pointed out that the use of technology is not meant to replace human oversight. Trained officers will still be present at the registration centers to assist voters, verify documents, and ensure that process runs smoothly. By combining technology with human oversight, the Commission hopes to balance effectively with accountability. As the exercise gets underway, the attention will now shift to how Kenyans take advantage of the opportunity to register. The figure of 6.3 million new votes is ambitious, but it reflects the scale of growth in the population since 2022. Every election year, Kenya sees a large number of first-time voters, most of these young people. Mobilizing this group has always been a challenge, but it also represents one of the greatest opportunities for expanding democratic participation. For millions of Kenyans who have been waiting since 2022, the launch of continuous voter registration brings a closure to a long wait. It gives them the chance to take part in shaping the country's future through the ballot. For the IEBC, it marks the beginning of the critical phase in preparedness for the 2027 general election.